Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your course on Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and Galactic Legends have received a massive buff. Lots of good characters have received nerfs against Galactic Legends, so the characters remain pretty good, but against Galactic Legends is going to be an issue. So our Galactic Legends rushed. The new meta is CG finally stamping out the AP Gaines approved farming guide. I normally invite you guys to pop a chalky milk with me. Today we're popping a gigantic chalky milk. But not because we're upset. Because we're happy. We are absolutely happy. Anyone following the AP Gaines approved strategy is ridiculously happy right now because of the GL buffs, and we're going to talk about why. We're in the game. We got the Barry McCockner account going on over here, and as you guys know, we are undefeated against Galactic Legends. We've never had an issue with a character or an opponent with a Galactic Legend. I can't foresee us ever having an issue with an opponent with a Galactic Legend in the future. The simple fact of the matter is, if you go for a Galactic Legend, you're not following the most efficient, best free-to-play farming guide of all time, the AP Gaines approved farming guide, and therefore you're putting yourself at a huge disservice in Grand Arena. Now, Galactic Legends are a lot harder to beat now. A couple of counters won't work anymore. Vader will stop working. Gas on certain teams will stop working. You're probably going to need a Galactic Legend to counter a Galactic Legend. The good news for all of you guys who are holding strong with the AP Gaines approved strategy is that this will trick a bunch of lower level players who maybe aren't as informed or maybe are newer to the game to pushing that Galactic Legend route. So we're going to face Galactic Legends in GAC more and more often. This is going to be a huge advantage. I almost said advantage and advantageous at the same time. I promise English is my first language. It was simply the extra hard chalky milk getting to me. I'm a little loopy at the moment. But yeah, so we're going to hop in. Yes, caveat, AP Gaines approved farming guide. We go for a GL at 3 million GP. I'm fast approaching. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm following the strategy. But when we face people with Galactic Legends, let's filter by power, sure. Get all these favorites out of the way. They have requirements. They have some other core teams, so some things are doing good, but we have so many unbelievable teams that they literally just cannot compete with us. They can't clear any zones. We're more efficient. We have way more teams. It's a cakewalk. So that's oftentimes when I face Galactic Legends, the streams are usually centered around roster reviews or just hanging out having a good time, because I mean the GAC is over pretty quickly. It's a quick win for us. We don't really have to put much brain power into fighting people who have early Galactic Legends because our account is just so much more efficient than Galactic Legend accounts who go for them early. That's kind of the downside to this big craze of Galactic Legends recently, is GACs get a little bit more boring because it kind of takes the challenge out of it for us on our side when we face those players. But I mean, we're getting the win, and I guess that's at the end of the day. Not everyone's going to have a Galactic Legend, so if sometimes we have to have, a little bit boring matchups, I guess that's fine. I don't know why I'm like randomly showing you like the middle of my roster, like the Cad Bane and Mandalorian. You guys, while I talk, let's spin a quiet go. Oh my God. Guys, can we petition Ian to get his mullet back so he can look more quiet? Oh, look at that chin. He doesn't even have a neck. It's just like straight chin action. That's a little creepy. We're just gonna look at his butt for right now. But yeah, so players who go for that Galactic Legend route are putting themselves at a huge disadvantage. Yes, it's fun to have a Galactic Legend. You can go up a crate in Galactic challenges, or maybe do a slightly bit better on Conquest. But at the end of the day, sacrificing losing every Grand Arena for like an extra crate in GC or Conquest, in my opinion, is not really worth it. Those game modes are not necessarily the most fun. For me, Grand Arena, being super dominant in Grand Arena, being especially undefeated against Galactic Legends, and the free-to-play account that Nicole has, being literally unbeatable, is a higher priority for me. So if you guys are players who necessarily don't really care about Grand Arena, it's not like the focal point. Yeah, you guys have liberty to go around and do some other stuff if that's what you guys are interested in. Just know that you're putting yourself at a big disadvantage. The reason I say putting at a disadvantage is because a lot of players maybe are newer, don't understand. At the end of the day, yes, this game does revolve around the teams you have, which is why, like, in a video I did recently, I talked about when we faced Galactic Legends, you can kind of throw our roster against the Galactic Legend roster, and you could put like a monkey in and the monkey will still win because the characters are so good. But at a certain point, let's say the opponent has like a comparable roster, they're also AP against improved farming strategy, the game still does revolve some skill. There is obviously plays that need to be made, counters that need to be anticipated and used properly, defensive or saving for offense that you need to do on your own. The best thing about our strategy is it just takes a lot of that out of the equation because we know going in that we're going to win. But if you're facing a comparable roster or you're facing a Galactic Legend, you do still have some responsibility on yourself to make those skilled plays. And the reason the Galactic Legend players are at a huge disadvantage is because you are the one making all of the decisions for who's going to win or lose. It's entirely out of your opponent's hand. If they save everything for offense, you're placing a strong defense they can't beat. They'll clear a couple of zones, but then their Galactic Legend isn't. You'll full clear them. Easy win. They're going to be embarrassed. They put their Galactic Legend on defense, and we still place a strong defense. They can't clear us. We clear way more of their zones because we have better teams. We win. It's not as pretty because we can't full clear and completely embarrass them, but we're winning 100 billion times out of 100 billion. But what I mean is, if you choose, let's say you don't place that hard defense, and they place the Galactic Legend, you've made an incorrect play, and that's where the skill comes into it. So in some situations, if you yourself make the mistake, you can technically, you could place all level 1 characters. That wouldn't be a huge brain move, but technically you could lose against these players, which is why, watching lots of Swigo videos, picking up skills, learning about counters, learning about how GAC works, learning about the zones, how banners work, all of that stuff is super important because at the end of the day, you can prepare so much with our farming guide to where it's basically impossible to lose, but you still have to hold that responsibility to yourself to make the right decisions, to choose the right counters, to place the right defense, to look at your opponent's roster and say, well, they're farming this Galactic Legend, so they have this, and this team. Well, maybe this time, as opposed to the previous Galactic Legend we faced, maybe we need to switch out, a Darth Revan team for a Jedi Knight Revan team, or we need to trade out a Separatist team with Newt Gunray and a pretty powerful Django for a CLS squad because we know they don't have a good CLS. Maybe we got to throw in gas. Maybe we have to hold gas back to kind of bait them into a lower zone that we know they can't beat. You still have to make those decisions for yourself. You still have to use that strategy. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Although a monkey can win, you still have to, plan the strategy for the monkey. So I guess if you guys made it this far in the video, comment something like, don't be the monkey. You can spell monkey correctly, or how you young kids, because I know my average viewer age is 4.5 years old, because we're all just a bunch of children at heart, aren't we? You can spell monkey without the Y. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're getting close to our sub goal. I'm looking at my subs right now. We're at 6,357, close to 6,969. That would be awesome if we can get there. But as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you later if I can find the button to end the recording.